Alright, yeah, we are back with some more Aether Revolt in Magic Duels with our Aether Flicker deck. So, yet again, if you haven't checked out the deck tech, then be sure to do so immediately. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get into the games. See you there. Okay, we're on the draw. We have green and white, but we are missing blue. It's arguably the most important colour. It's definitively the most important colour in this deck, so... Ugh. Yeah, I think we'll throw it back. This one's much better. We have all of our colours. We have Bounding Crisis again. We have some late game stuff. So here's hoping we draw into some nice things. Like more lands. Oh, don't let it be this game again. Not this. Not like this. Please no. Alright. At least we've got the lands in hand to make sure that these check lands actually come into play untapped. Green, white, probably humans. Ooh. Evolving Wilds. I think we want to thin out our deck. Get a plains, I guess. Actually, I should have got an island there. It's the only one we don't have two blue sources for. We don't really need two blue sources for anything other than Boral's expertise, but it's nice to have. This is actually a renowned deck. Alright. I haven't seen this one in a long time. So, his Free Blade gets renowned, and he gets to draw a card, because it got renowned. Okay. I see how it is. Right, well, we're going to play an island so that we can Bounding Crisis, tap down his Free Blade, and maybe take out his Wardens. We've got one choice. We either take down his Wardens or we tap down his Free Blade, because once the Crisis is down, he's not attacking him with this guy. He has another Wardens, so we're going to kill this guy. We don't want the card draw that presents. Ah! Thank you. Tap down the Warden at the back. Yup. Tap it. And block there. There is a damage prevention spell that I think he's got the mana to cast, but he doesn't have it apparently. So we prevent a renown trigger and get some of his card draw off the board there, which is nice. And now we've got a decent blocker for his other Wardens, so he's not likely to attack into it and draw lots of cards. Is there any card in particular I want to drop? Not really. Don't want to put Reclamation Sage down. I think the answer to that question is yes. What enchantments does he have? He might have like Nimbus Wings and stuff like that for his Free Blade. And therefore playing Reclamation Sage, we lose that value if he plays it next turn. Other than that, I'm not sure what kind of value he gets from his cards. Crisis is enough to potentially stop both of them from attacking him as well. And Reclamation Sage by himself is not enough to stop him. Next turn we've got Archangel Avacyn as well to flash in and block, so I think we'll hold on to Reclamation Sage, keep that value in our hand while it's still available. We're just holding out for flicker spells here. We've got all the lands we need for the rest of the game, so... Elvish Visionary, gonna draw him a card. And Consul's Lieutenant likely means there is no attack here. Maybe with a Free Blade, yeah. I'll accept the Free Blade's attack, because we're going to Avacyn it on our next turn, probably. Okay, we draw. Displace. Wonderful. Alright, Hinterland Harbour for us. We're going to pass the turn. When he attacks, we're going to flash in Avacyn. And we're going to double block some of his creatures. Nimbus Wings, I was entirely right about that being the case. Good, I'm right about something. Alright, he's just getting in with the Lieutenant. So we get our Avacyn in. Indestructible, so even if he does have the damage prevention spell, we're not losing Avacyn here. And we've still got Avison later down the line to block it again. So... okay, he's got Kithion. It's quite the attack that he's got to put through in order to get some profit off of this attack. We're just going to go Hinterland Harbour and pass, I think. There's no enchantments, so Reclamation Sage, useless. We do get to attack him with Avison, because she is vigilant and flying, so essentially she's unblockable. And Subjugator Angel, useless at the moment. You really want to play Subjugator Angel when you can flicker her on your opponent's turn. It is a one of as well, so once it's gone, it's essentially gone forever unless you Green Warden it back. But that's going to be a good way to close out the game, is this Angel, if we can chain them together. Well, we'll go with Evolving Wilds. I'm going to swing for 4 again. Cracker Evolving Wilds, because we can. Get another blue. Can never have too much blue. Okay. Pressure's on opponent. Once these 2 lands have been placed, then we can Subjugate Angel and hold up Displace. Which is pretty sweet. No attacks for him, he does not want to lose his creatures. Oh, we cracked our Evolving Wilds too soon. That's a shame. Well, Aid from the Cowl. And Sun Petal Grove. And swinging for 4. Aid from the Cowl. Beginning of your end step, if a creature left, or permanent, sorry, left the battlefield this turn, you get to reveal the top card. If it is a permanent, you get to put it on the field. Otherwise, you get to choose where it goes. Top or bottom. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, if it entered the battlefield this turn, exile it until it leaves the battlefield. Was there an ability there? Was that... I think that was supposed to trigger. Yeah. Oh, it had to trigger when he was on the field. Yeah, of course. Continue playing. Ooh, Johnny. Someone's finally playing it. Reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Put all non-land permanents revealed this way into your hand. The rest onto the bottom of your library. Nice. Might not be too bad in this deck, actually. I'm not sure, though. We do have a lot of permanents. So we likely see... yeah. We see him trying to get rid of Everson. So we displace. And let's just tap down Free Blade. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. Tap. We just need to find a flicker spell, otherwise he can minus again. And actually maybe pull out of this game. Oh, actually, no. No, we're 1 power short. We can get rid of Ajani, though, if we play the Subjugator Angel. So that's what we're going to do. It's the only way that we potentially lose this is if we lose our Avison. And Ajani's the great way to do that. So if we play our Subjugator Angel, everything gets tapped down. Which allows our Krasis to get in at Ajani. And we get to attack in at him again. So he's dead next turn. We are presenting another flicker spell, but we don't have one. But it's nice to know that we can threaten our opponent with it. And we likely see a suicide attack here, because it is the AI after all. Yep. Alright, block enough to not die. We're taking 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's enough to not die, but he might have a pump spell, so I'm going to block at least one of them. Block... you? No, you. Gonna need a pump spell to save it. Sweet. Alright, he does renown that, so he does get to draw another card, and he loses his Kithion and gets himself a Gideon. Forces one of them to attack Gideon, but the other one's free to attack him. An Emiria Shepherd. Oh. Alright. Come on, removal. Flicker. Anything. Cloud Blazer is a redraw. Play a land. Cloud Blazer. Come on, flicker. Long road home. Anything like that. Bounding Crisis, that'll do. Bounding Crisis. Tap down the Emeria Shepherd. Yes, please. Tap. And swing in. Avison to the face. GG. That was a little bit too close, I have to say. Alright guys, let's get on to the next game. Okay, we are in and on the draw. We have technically all 3 colours of mana. And we can get the Rogue Refiner as well, which will get us some energy for any Aether hubs, as well as draw us a card. I think this is a decent hand. It's as good as it's going to get. Alright, our opponent is on red, but does not have a turn 1 play. Alright, so it might be an aggressive deck, but they have not gotten to full aggression. We're just going to put down Canopy Vista, because we do need that green mana. And if we draw any more tap lands, then we might as well play them, since we don't really do anything until turn 3. Red-blue. There's an Aether hub. That's nice. We'll hold on to it though. No need to play it just yet. And pass the turn. Alright. This bodes well. The longer our opponent takes to do anything, the better it is for us. And we get a call for Unity, which is going to be pretty nice. Right, we'll go Island, Rogue Refiner, gain 2 energy, draw a card. It's the new Aether Revolt Elvish Visionary, essentially. Ooh, an Evolving Wilds. Just so you know, cracking an Evolving Wilds to sacrifice it is a trigger for Revolt, so this is a way that we can crack, that we can trigger Call for Unity on our turn. And that means we don't have to flicker to get it going. But we might need to play this Evolving Wilds before Call for Unity, just because of the way our mana situation is looking. We're going to go with Aether Hub though. And we're just going to swing in, I think. Bounding Crisis on his end step if he plays anything, just for that extra little bit of value. Okay. And pass the turn. So our opponent, by the way, played a Pyromancer's Assault. Whenever you cast your second spell, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So it looks like he's trying to storm off. Luckily for us, he is missing most of his blue sources by the looks of it. So he's going to be playing a lot of cheap pump spells, kind of like a prowess sort of situation. If you're going to Radiant Flames that right there, I'm totally fine with that. And a Twin Bolt. So he gets to deal 2 damage to us, which triggers the Assault, which deals an extra 2. That's totally fine with me. I'm still going to play this Bounding Crisis. It's not going to get the full value, but, you know. We get 3 power on the board again, which keeps that pressure going. Land. Oh, beautiful. Alright, so Aether Hub coming down. Call for Unity coming down. So, at the beginning of our end step, if a creature left the battlefield this turn, you get to put a counter on it. And all of our creatures get +1/+1 for each counter that is on it. So if he ever removes our Crisis on our turn, then he triggers the Call for Unity, and our next creatures are a lot bigger from that point forward. We can also crack Evolving Wilds on our turn to trigger that as well. So he gets another red source. So this might just be like a really big burn focus with a few blue creatures and stuff here and there. He's going with a Fiery Impulse. Okay. Takes down the Crisis. That's fine. Subjugator Angel. Hello. So we're going to crack our Evolving Wilds, and we're going to go get a white source by the looks of it. Because we're going to need 2 white in order to cast our Linvala and our Subjugator Angel without having to spend anything on the Aether Hub. So we end our turn, we get a counter on Call for Unity. So all of our creatures get +1/+1. So we now have 6 6s and 3 4s, which is pretty sweet. I kind of like this card. I'm not sure if it's suitable for this deck, but this is the match to find out. So he goes with a Part the Water Veil, just to draw a card. So that's a 6 mana draw a card, in a nutshell. And passes the turn, so you got good value from that Water Veil right there. Another Evolving Wilds is nice. I'm going to hold off on Linvala because he's running a lot of burn. He's currently at a lower life than us. Which essentially, I want to get full value, or at least some value off of Linvala before she enters the battlefield. We'll get... I guess we'll just get another forest. No, let's not get a forest in case we hit Nissa. Give her some targets to grab. We'll get an island instead. So that's another counter on the call for Unity. So now all of our creatures get +2/+2. These are not the colours to be dealing with enchantments as well, which is nice. He could just have return target non-land permanent to his hand, but... You know, Avacyn's Judgment. Essentially Twin Bolt and a Geist Blast, so he deals 2 damage and an extra bit with Geist Blast. So now we get to play our Linvala and we get some decent value from it, because now we're at lower life. We're going to go up to 15. And we're going to have a 7/7. And a long road home. Ooh. So we can even flicker our Linvala. If he ends up having more creatures than us, for example, then we can flicker and get some creatures. If he takes us down below life, we might want to attack and then long road home and gain 5 more life. It's pretty much game over for a burn player if we can gain as much life as we're set up to do so. Alright. And a 7/7 is not something a burn player can deal with. The blue's there for bounce though, probably. Or it might just be here for copying Geist Blast as well. That's also an option. Goes with Weaver of Lightning. So it's 1/4 with Reach and Radiant Flames. Okay, so deals 1 damage. 2/3, points that at us. Alright. And he's empty-handed, which means we're going to win. 2 turns. And a Reclamation Sage. That's just... Oh, it's game over. It's actually 3 turns. Unless I want to long road home the Weaver. And I don't. In fact, now it's 2 turns because he didn't block. Because now, next turn, we long road home, which keeps it off the board for the turn. And that's just going to be a game. So we'll Reclamation Sage. Let's show our opponent how over it really is. Let's get rid of that. We got a 4/3 Rec Sage. And his final card is a land. Alright. GG. Sweet. So essentially we're just going to attack in. Long road home that. I'll just leave game now. There's no point. So we'll see you in the next game. Okay, we are in and on the draw. Lots of lands, nothing to do. I'm throwing that one back. We've been flooded already. If we drew a green mana, this hand would be great. We are on the draw, so we can risk it, I think. Green mana isn't too hard to come by. It's one of the dominant colours in the deck. We just need the Rogue Refiner to draw some cards, get some energy. Maybe an Aether Hub would be lovely with that. Alright, he leads off with a Kessig Prowler. We get a card we can't cast. Okay. Great start. Great start, guys. Please. Don't let it be a mana screw this game. After the flood, the great flood of Magic Duels, I just can't take it. I might actually die a little inside if we get mana screwed this game. Just the green sauce. Just the green. Just one. One's fine. Don't need any more. And there's another card that needs green mana. Alright. Playing planes. Passing the turn. Oh god. Alright, we didn't cast anything, so that gets to attack, so we're getting 6 for the turn. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And a Silver Fur Partisan. Alright. Our opponent's got the nuts. We have nothing. If we draw a green source, then maybe we can come back from this, but... I don't know. Come on, green sauce. Green sauce. Green sauce. I willed it and it became mine. I am a god. Rogue Refiner. And we're going to lose now. So we get to draw a card and gain some energy. Ooh, Green Warden. If I had the mana, that might be useful. We do have Bounding Crisis though, so we can tap down a creature on his turn. Probably don't want to block here. Mostly because I can actually Essence Flux and Bounding Crisis next turn. So let's see if he wants to trade anything. Judging by his really slow reaction on the attack, I don't think he's got any pump spells. So he must be deciding whether or not he wants to lose the Partisan and the Prowler. That's just my instincts from this situation. It looks like he's going with it. So we're taking 8. Are we just dead next turn? We take 8. We're down to 4. Next turn we've got 2 blockers and we can tap down stuff. We're alright. As long as he don't have any pump. And he doesn't. Okay. So we live. Kind of. Ooh, Reflect Mage. Is Reflect Mage enough? Or even Tameo here. Tameo to tap down 2 creatures. These 2 here. Forces us to chump. If he doesn't make wolves from the Partisan. Alternatively, we've got Reflectimage to bounce the Partisan, Essence Flux to flicker, Reflectimage and block and bounce that. Yeah, I think that's the plan. So, Reflectimage, going to bounce his Partisan. We're going to have to draw really well to stay in this game. Like, really well. And then we'll get in for 3. There's no flash werewolves, I don't think. Or is there one? Oh, there is one. There's a wolf that you discard a land to make another wolf, I think. Is it worth the risk? Or should I leave it back? We're essentially going to Essence Flux the Reflector Mage, block and bounce. We're only going to take 2. Actually, we might not take anything. No, I'm going to go with it. And let's attack. Pass the turn. So we've got Essence Flux to bounce one of these 2 creatures. This one here, most likely, because it will come back as a creature that can't attack. Although he's going to transform this into a 4/4. That's a problem. That means we have to chump now. Oh yeah, we're going to flicker the Reflector Mage. And bounce the one that can't attack when it comes down. That should buy us a turn, hopefully. But he's got a 4/4 now. And we're forced to block, otherwise we die. Okay. We do have Tameo to lock it down. And another land. Another land does mean Cloud Blazer. But that creature can't be blocked by more than 1. So we need something to either lock it down or block it properly. So I think Tameo is the option here. If he has the Hasty Werewolf, the 2 and a red, 3/2 I think, then we're going to be forced to chump here, but we're going to tap that down because we have to. Buy us another turn. And I think I will attack. If he does have the hasty creature, then we're just screwed, but we know one's a partisan and we know one's a pacifist, so there's only 3 unknowns in his hand, and now there's 4. And the one that I'm thinking of is a rare, so there's only 2 of them in his deck. Now there's 3 cards in his hand we don't know about. There's the pacifist. So there's a partisan and 2 other cards. Breakneck Rider. This one gives attacking creatures +1/+1 trample. Call to Unity is not good. If it had been a land, we might have been alright. Because a land would have meant that we'd been able to get Essence Flux back, and then we could have played Green Warden. Which would have been a decent blocker. We'd have had Flicker to get some more value out of it. Alternatively, we've just got to go Cloud Blazer here, I think. Reclamation Sage doesn't hit anything. We could Bounding Crisis to tap that down. Then we've got a trade here, actually. But if we do Bounding Crisis, then we're probably... There's no surprise for him here. We can't flash it, otherwise his werewolves flip. So we're just going to have to plus there, I think. And just play Cloud Blazer. Go up to 6. If he attacks in, we draw cards. And also we get a land as well. We do want to hit our land drops. And just hold back. Alright, so Flicker spells are the way to get back into this game. If we can Cloud Blazer over and over again, then we should be back in this. It's not over yet, although it's very close. Ulrich gives a creature a horrible amount of power, I believe. Yep, +4/+4. Sticks it on one of the creatures that we can't really block. It's coming in entirely at us. Okay. Well, we just blocked the most amount of damage here, I think. Well, actually, we blocked there because we can trade. And we block there to stop the most damage. We take 4, we draw 2 cards. And he loses a Breakneck Rider. And Tamiyo sticks around to fight another day. That is a land. An aid from the cowl. There's a Flicker spell. So, land. I think we're forced to lock his creatures down with Tamiyo. Lock Ulrich down. Lock Sinious Predator. This one can't. Oh, this can attack actually. Never mind. But we can then play down some sort of creature, I think. Maybe Green Warden. Grab back Cloud Blazer. So, tap and tap to keep them out of the game. Then we Green Warden. Maybe we Green Warden Essence Flux here. If he has a combat trick, then we can flick a Green Warden and we can get Cloud Blazer anyway. So, no matter what happens, Cloud Blazer's coming back to our hand at the end of this turn. We might just be able to hold off the Pacifist. Okay. Partisan and an unknown card. No attacks. So we flick a Green Warden. Get back the Cloud Blazer. Or do we get back the Reflector Mage? No, because we don't have any Flicker, and Cloud Blazer's what he's going to find as that, and it'll gain us some life as well. That's hopefully the plan. There is an Evolving Wilds. Evolving Wilds does trigger Cowl, but I'm pretty much just dead on board then. So I think it's Cloud Blazer to... I think we're just dead. We could double Bounding Crisis. Or Bounding Crisis and then Long Road Home. One of his creatures, perhaps. I think either way. We want to plus both of these two. Take away his incentive to attack. Evolving Wilds is coming down. Do we want to crack it? We might want to hold on to it for a point when we have aid from the Cowl to hit things on the top of our deck. Cloud Blazer, if it hits an Essence Flux, is absolutely glorious. Even if it doesn't actually, we can Long Road Home it. We block Long Road Home, take it out of combat. And if we survive... let's do it. Come on, hit Flicker. Flicker spells, Flicker spells, Flicker spells. I am gonna... Oh, never mind. Ooh, Subjugator Angel. Okay. I'm gonna crack this now. Should have done it before, but we wouldn't have had Subjugator Angel. Are we just dead, though? He's got Partisan in hand, an unknown card. We're holding back to block, so we can block there, flicker Cloud Blazer out. Discarding to hand size, call for Unity is just too slow. We'll get rid of it. Exquisite Firecraft. We're dead. Why? We're so close. Yeah, Long Road Home wouldn't have come into effect until the end of our turn, so we couldn't have done that in response. Well, that's going to do it for today's decks. So if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to leave a like. It helps me out a great deal. Lets me know you're enjoying the series. I'm doing a big backlog of these videos as well, so any tips will be heard, but they won't be acted upon, unfortunately. So if you want to leave some comments, be sure to do so, and I'll hear them regardless. Be sure to subscribe for some more Aether Revolt and Magic Duels content. There will be a fair amount of it in the coming weeks, since it is the new release, and we've got to do a lot of footage on it. So be sure to subscribe for all of that, and if you have subscribed and haven't already, then be sure to hit the little bell icon right next to it. It'll notify you when I release new videos. Alright guys, see you next time.